You're watching TV News at 10 with Nifemi Oguntoye. After 18 months at the helm of Nigeria's armed forces, General Christopher Musa has been nominated to take on a new national assignment, this time as Minister of Defense. His nomination follows the resignation of former Minister of Defense Mohammed Abubakar. In this report, TV News State House correspondent Femi Akonde spotlight General Musa's nomination and what it means for Nigeria.
This is considered to be a decisive move from President Bola Tinubu, coming just hours after former Defense Minister Muhammad Badaru Abubakar tendered his resignation. In a letter to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, President Bola Tinubu put forward a name that needs little introduction in Nigeria's security circles. General Christopher Musa, a soldier forged in some of the country's toughest battlefields. At 58 years old, the former Chief of Defense Staff is widely regarded as one of the most experienced counterinsurgency commanders of his generation. He was born in Sokoto State in 1967, educated in the same city, and later attended the College of Advanced Studies in Zaria. In 1986, he entered the Nigerian Defense Academy, graduating in 1991 with a Bachelor of Science degree, before being commissioned as a second lieutenant into the Nigerian Army. Over the next 3 decades, General Musa would rise through the ranks with a reputation for grit, discipline, and operational intelligence. Among his notable postings are Commanding Officer, 73 Battalion, General Staff Officer, Operations, HQ 81 Division, Commander Sector 3 Operation Lafia Dole, Commander Multinational Joint Task Force Lake Chad Basin, Theater Commander Operation Hadinkai, where he oversaw key offensives against Boko Haram and ISWAP, Commander Nigerian Army Infantry Corps, and eventually Chief of Defense Staff, appointed by President Bola Tinubu in 2023. His international recognition includes the prestigious Colin Powell Award for Soldiering, which he received in 2012, a rare honor for an African military officer. The nomination comes at a time when Nigeria continues to battle terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, oil theft, and evolving threats across multiple regions. State House sources say President Bola Tinubu believes General Musa brings the strategic stability and operational clarity needed to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture. In the president's letter to the Senate, he expresses full confidence in the retired 4-star general's capacity to lead the defense ministry at a critical juncture. Now all eyes turn to the National Assembly, where lawmakers will decide whether General Christopher Musa will step into one of the most consequential cabinet roles in the country. With his nomination, Nigeria may be witnessing the return of a combat-tested commander, one whose next mission will move from the battlefield to the very heart of policymaking. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
U.S. Army Captain, retired security strategist Bish Johnson joins me on the news at 10 for more on this development. Thanks for joining us on the news this hour. Precisely, what does the return of General Musa say about the ongoing fight against insurgency in Nigeria?
Okay, yeah, good evening and thank you for having me. This is a wonderful appointment. I think this appointment is well deserved. By returning General Musa as the Minister of Defense, the President has ensured not just only institutional memory, but he has also ensured the operational stability. General Musa is one of those Chief of Defense Staffs in a recent memory that had worked so hard to get a grip on the insecurity that has been bedeviling this country for decades now. And some of us were saddened when he was retired. But I think from this appointment, we know exactly where the president was going to. And by bringing him back, I think the president has ensured that this declaration of state of emergency is not only a mere declaration, but that he's ready to follow it up with some measures that will ensure improvement in the security sector.
Precisely, how does being a Minister of Defense better position him to solve this problem relative to when he was Chief of Defense Staff?
Well, you see, when you are a minister, you're a member of the Federal Executive Council, and that's different from when you are Chief of Defense Staff, right? And the Chief of Defense Staff ordinarily takes order, even though they also have the ears of Mr. President. They also take orders from the civilian authority that also includes the minister. And so, by bringing someone who has military experience as Minister of Defense, you're going to have a better synergy between the Ministry of Defense and the operational military commanders, including the Chief of Defense Staff, the various service chiefs, and even the soldiers in the field. So that's because that synergy is very, very important. So we have to commend Mr. President for this appointment. This is a very fantastic appointment. But I will also add that Mr. President should go further by redeploying the Minister of State for Defense and bringing someone with security experience, particularly from the police. Because ordinarily, this banditry, kidnapping, and insurgency is supposed to be led by the police. But be that as it may, I think the president should go further, redeploy the current Minister of State for Defense, bringing someone with police experience, who is also from the South, because the South is not immune from the insecurity that we have in this country. And with that in mind, I think that Mike Okiro, who retired as Inspector General of Police in Nigeria, will make a good team with General Musa. Don't forget that Sir Mike Okiro was the Commissioner of Police in Lagos when the current president, President Tinubu, was the governor of Lagos State. And they worked hand in hand to dismantle OPC. After that time, Lagos was having serious problems and businesses were folding or relocating to some other places until Sir Mike Okiro came in as the Commissioner of Police at that time and worked with Governor Tinubu then to restore law and order, and businesses began to come back to Lagos. And that's not only that. Sir Mike Okiro has wonderful experiences in the South and the Southeast. Remember, during that militancy time where our crude oil output was brought down to 600,000 barrels per day, Mike Okiro, as an IGP, went to the camps, the creeks, met with the militants, discussed with them, and he's one of the people that was responsible for the establishment of the Presidential Amnesty Program that eventually led the production of Nigerian crude oil from 600,000 barrels per day to 2.1 million barrels per day. So I think the president should go further in appointing someone like that as a Minister of State for Defense.
Good place to leave it. Security strategist Bish Johnson, thank you for talking to us.